In this video, I'm going to share 1-minute habits to start in 2025 to give you some practical strategies to boost your productivity. New Year's is around the corner, and I wanted to give you some options of 1-minute habits to start your next year to truly make 2025 your year. And I know you probably read Atomic Habits like most of us, and you're wondering, is this video really going to help me? But I promise these quick and easy habits are small, but they're mighty, and they have the power to possibly be that missing ingredient to reaching your goals. Plus, stick around to the end, because if you struggle to stick with new habits you set for yourself, I'm going to share with you an easy formula to stick with new habits. As a neuropsychologist who has researched achievement psychology methods for over a decade now, I'm excited to share some easy habits with you that you can really make your life easier. So let's jump right in. The first set of habits that I want to share with you are going to help you start your day off feeling strong and feeling motivated. Particularly these 1-minute habits that I want you to do in the morning are going to help you have more energy, so you start your day off strong, and it gives your brain that power it needs to initiate tasks and be productive as possible throughout the day. The first one is very simple, very easy. You probably heard it before. Make your bed. A lot of people say it because it works. It gives your brain that sense of satisfaction, and you'll keep seeking that sense of pride throughout the day if you start your day off like that. Another simple 1-minute habit that I want you to do, actually the next three kind of go hand in hand. Review your planner, set your intention, set your priorities, and write what you're grateful for. And this is really simple if you use my planner, the Mod Ambition Planner, in the daily pages at the top, right above the time blocking. And you can do this on your own planner. I want you to set your intention for the day. I want you to be the one in the driver's seat deciding on how you want your day to be. That can take you less than 1 minute, and it's going to set you up for productivity. Set your priorities for that day. Maybe look at your week's intention and think about, okay, what is my priority to get done for today? Maximum of 3, ideally 1 or 2 that you need to get done today. That takes less than a minute. I also want you to start the day with gratitude. Research has shown that being grateful fight off things like anxiety and depression, anything we can do to get ourselves in a high vibe before we start the day. And so in the planner, you can write what you're grateful for. Try to write a new thing each day. And then you're just going to review your day. If you have the Mod Ambition Planner, you're going to look at what you time block for your day. That way you have a bird's eye view of what you want to get done, what's your own personal intention, and you can start the day on your own accord and also in that initiation phase. Another 1-minute habit I want you to do in the morning is to track the metrics that matter to you in the morning. This can take a minute. Look at your bank account. For me, I also look at my YouTube studio. I just take a glance at those really important metrics that help either your business or your work, what reports I want to get done for that week. So I do that on Mondays, just kind of tracking your metrics. I also take a minute just to check my Shopify app and to look at my metrics of who's on the site, those kinds of things, what's going on in my business. So think of like maybe 1 to 3 metrics that you want to keep a track out, that you want to keep your pulse on. And this is going to help you move more consciously as you're making decisions, because you have a bird's eye view. You have a good idea of the numbers that matter. And then another thing that you can get in the habit of doing in the morning that's going to help you be more productive actually is setting a timer before you start working. I notice if I don't start using my timer in the morning, I usually won't incorporate it into my day at all, because I didn't start my day like that. So the more I can start using my timer to, okay, my first task, I usually use the Pomodoro method, 50 minutes deep work, 10-minute break. And so as soon as I set that in the morning, that sets me up to use it throughout the day. And I'm so much more productive when I'm just time aware. And then of course, taking those breaks in the Pomodoro method is helpful as well. Setting your timer takes a couple of seconds, definitely less than a minute, and it can change your day as far as productivity goes. So now that you have the tools to start your day off with a bang, it's important that you have some habits in 2025 that are going to help you maintain that productive momentum throughout your day. How many times have you reached lunchtime and you go back to work and you're feeling drained and really asking yourself, how am I going to make it through the rest of the day? These next set of habits are going to help you feel re-energized and give you the tools to fight the afternoon crash and fatigue and really feel supported as you get back to work. I know for myself as a neuropsychologist, I try to do my hardest work in the morning, but there are those days that the reality is I have to finish hard tasks like writing a report, even in the afternoon. And I know if you're like me, you don't have a whole afternoon to waste just because you don't really have the energy to work on hard things. So let's jump into a few habits that I like to do to boost my productivity during the day. So one of the habits that helps me is after lunch, drinking a full glass of water water for energy. You might be tempted to grab like the coffee. I actually suggest otherwise because that's going to make it difficult to sleep. It's going to be a cycle of feeling tired the next day. But instead, hydrating yourself really gives you a boost of energy. Another habit that you can instill after lunch is deep breathing. This can also help you get a boost of energy because it helps you get more oxygen to your brain and it helps you feel more energized. And then the other habit that you can do as far as like a little lunch break to help you set up your day for the afternoon to have more energy is just popping outside. Even if you don't have time to take a full walk, just kind of popping outside for 5 minutes, getting some fresh air, touching grass, as they say, it's going to help you get that boost of energy you need to restart your day. And really thinking of your second half of the day, that sort of fresh start effect has been shown in our brains to give us like a boost of dopamine and energy to get going. So like Mondays, New Year's, after lunch, that kind of fresh start effect, use that to your advantage. So now that you've made it through the day, I want you to shift your brain into thinking about what can you do at the end of your day to set yourself up for success the next day. While your future self is not incapable, it's nice to have some habits in place that can help your future self. These habits are going to give you a sense of peace and pride as you consciously take a minute to productively wind down your day. I've actually combined these habits for myself into a wind down work routine. And I can honestly say that the days that I don't do this routine, I end up feeling disheveled the next day, but I also start the next day feeling like a chicken with my head cut off and kind of all over the place. So let me share with you these habits that actually bring me peace at the end of the day. The first habit you can get into is capturing. You might have heard of capturing all your tasks. And what I like to do is just to as a sort of like, I guess, filter for any task that I might have not captured in the moment, is just take a minute at the end of the day to capture any uncaptured tasks. Anything that I maybe have written on a post-it around my desk or wrote down in a document that I haven't had a chance to capture in my system, I'll just take a moment and either add it to my task list, or if you don't use this system, you might have like a to-do list, adding those things from your post-its or anything around to your to-do list or your planner, your capture system. Another thing that you can do at the end of the day is back planning. So just take a minute to back plan, which is essentially thinking about what you had planned for your day versus what you did. Were you able to get it done? And if not, why? That's going to help you be more realistic with your planning, get an idea of what's getting in the way of your productivity so you can troubleshoot. Another thing that I do at the end of the day before leaving my office is tidying my desk. Now, this is something that just helps me stay on top of things. We know that we're more productive when our environment is clean and work friendly. So just taking 1 minute to tidy your desk as it builds upon each other. I also like to organize my video and my photo on my phone. So if I capture any B-roll that day, or if I have things that I'm capturing for a future video or for a social media post, at the end of the day, I just kind of look and put things in my Google Photos because it backs up everything. So if I get those alerts on my iPhone that I don't have any more storage, I can go delete all my videos on my phone or all my pictures. And I know that I have it all still on my phone because I have the Google Photos app, but it's in my Google Photos on my desktop anywhere I need to work. So I like to put those in folders. So when I sit down to work, again, organizing by action, I have everything. So just taking a minute at the end of the day to categorize anything that I've taken that day helps make those tasks much easier. I then also like to pick out my outfit the next day. If I have to go into the office, I'll pick out my outfit for the next day. If it's just a work from home day, I usually don't, but I do have like on Mondays, I usually wear jeans and a top. So that's something I don't have to think about. So kind of just preparing for things just to make life a little bit easier. Now I want to give you a quick formula to stick to these habits if you are struggling with sticking to habits that you're setting for yourself, thinking about this next year. The first thing I want you to do is tie your habits to your values. So the more you can think about, okay, what's important to me in my life right now, and then decide on your habits and then put those habits in routines, the more successful you're going to be because they're tied to something that's very important to you. That's going to help motivate you. In my Notion habits and routines organizer, I have this flow set out for you. So there's prompts to set your habits based on your values. There's a section for your habits, and then there's a way to tie those into your routines so they're all synced together, and then you can habit track based on your routines. If you're interested, I will link that in the description below. Second, really easy, you're going to habit stack. So you have these valuable habits that you want to stick to, then you're going to stack them and tie them to things that you're already doing. So maybe you do your gratitude practice while you're getting coffee, that type of thing. Stack your habits onto things that are already habitual. That's going to make them much easier to stick to. Next is track your habits, change your life. So you've stacked your habits. Now I also want you to be tracking it. Like I mentioned in my habits and routines organizer, you can track your habits in there in a very periodic way. I also have habit tracking in my Mod Ambition planner, whichever way that you choose to do it. Tracking your habits has been shown to keep them top of mind, so you're mindful of what's helping you reach consistent habits, and you're also mindful of what's getting in the way so you can troubleshoot on those things. So track habits, change your life. And then the last one is reward yourself. If you find yourself doing something consistently, set up a reward system for yourself. Research has shown if you could like flip a coin on whether you're going to give that reward to yourself or not, it's like more motivating because you don't know if you're going to get it. Kind of plays off that like casino effect in our brains with randomness. So you could do that, or you could just reward yourself. I'm sure it will still motivate you, but finding ways that you can reinforce when you are doing what it is that you want to keep doing. So those are the 1 minute habits that I suggest you start to make 2025 yours. These are just little one-off habits that can help you. If you want my entire productivity system, I teed up a video I did for you to watch next. Thank you so much. Cheers to planning, manifesting, enjoying your dream life. Namaste.